Hey everybody, it's Michele Burghardt, your Millionaire Mentor Coach. How are you today? I don't know if you can tell, but my office is painted now and it smells really good and it's exciting. I don't have any pictures on the walls yet, but at least it's painted. So I know if you're following me, you know we're renovating our house because we're getting ready to put it on the market. Of course, it's something we should have done 25 years ago so we could enjoy the fruits of our labors, but you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. So anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about today is something that happened over the holiday weekend. And I have just been so involved with this renovation that I haven't had a chance to talk to you about this, but I love this concept. I was at a friend's house and there were 4 women and I was the only one who was not a psychic. I love psychics. I think it's interesting. It's intriguing. I love it. I absolutely love it. But I am not a psychic. So, of course, you know, the topic was about psychic stuff, and then they were doing psychic exercises. And why they wanted to invite me as a non-psychic person, I still don't know, because I'm totally not psychic. And I really kind of did feel like the third wheel, you know, like the left wheel out or whatever you say that, however you say that, because I'm not psychic. So it was interesting because they said, oh, Michele, you're intuitive. You know, you're intuitive. It's not, yeah, you are. And I started thinking about that. And I'm like, you know what? I am intuitive. But that's something very different than being psychic. And, you know, I think, personally, I think psychics are able to access parts of the brain that non-psychics are not able to. That's just my personal belief. I have no scientific proof of that. It's just what I believe, knowing what I know about how the brain works. But intuition, on the other hand, I think is so interesting because of the fact that your brain is scanning 1 billion bits of information per second. Per second. That's what your brain is scanning. So when you are starting to feel intuition, good or bad, you know, it's not really just intuition. It's the fact that your brain is actually picking up data that's important to you and it's sending you a signal that it's important to you. You know, even when my kids were really little, especially my daughter, because, you know, I always worry about the girls. I always said, if you ever start feeling that little kind of like that hair up against, you know, in the back of your neck, pay attention to it because that's your intuition. And it's not like just some, you know, hormone driven thing. It's your brain scanning and coming up with something that you need to pay attention to. The interesting thing about that is that if you start paying attention to your intuition, your brain actually starts providing more of that. So it's kind of like, you know, your brain sends you these intuitive thoughts. You make a decision based on that in those intuitive thoughts. Then your brain says, oh, okay, she's listening, so I'm going to keep sending them. So then your brain starts sending them in another situation. You know, you start getting these, you know, these scanning, it's scanning at 1 billion, you know, bits per second. It feeds you that information, and then when you act on it, it just reinforces the fact that you're paying attention. So, you know, this used to drive people crazy when I played competitive poker, because I was a poker player. I love Hold'em, Texas Hold'em. And, you know, they're like, I can't believe you held on to that hand, blah, 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 you know, and it's like, well, I had a feeling. Well, I don't know. You know, I did have a feeling, but you know what? It's your brain kind of like just scanning that whole table and then feeding me that information. You know, of course I have no, you know, I couldn't see the cards before they were dealt, but you know, I just really felt like I had a really good chance of winning that hand. And the more you pay attention to it, then the more it happens. And then the more it happens, the more you pay attention to it. And so then you really have like, you almost have your sixth sense. I mean, that's why they call it your sixth sense, because it really does help you make decisions. It helps you move forward. It helps you not be afraid. because if you really start paying attention to it, your brain is just analyzing information at such a fast speed you can't keep up with it. So I just wanted to share that little bit of information about intuition and just tell you kind of what it really is. It's not just something like, again, like I said, that's hormone driven. Men can have intuition too. It has nothing to do with our hormones. I just think maybe sometimes women do pay attention a little bit more because they're more feeling based. Men seem to be more practical based. So that's really all I wanted to share today, and I'm excited to be back on camera. I'm not done with renovations yet, but I'm hoping I can, now that I have my office put back together, I can actually come to you and share things with you a little bit more. So we'll see what I come up with. So you guys have a fabulous week. Tomorrow's Friday. Have a great weekend. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.